weekend began full of smiles and hope. For these students in the west of Kabul, returning to school felt particularly poignant. Last year, more than 90 were killed here in an attack by the local branch of the Islamic State group. We want to be successful so we can fulfill the dreams of our martyred classmates, says Sakina. That will be our revenge on those who were responsible. Not long after they've arrived, there's unexpected bad news.
The girls had literally just sat down at their desks and the head teacher got a WhatsApp message from the local Taliban in charge saying that actually teenage girls can't come back to class just yet. And the girls are just devastated.
We just want to learn and to serve our country, says Fatima. What is our sin, she asks the Taliban. You're always talking about Islam. Does Islam say to harm women like this? It doesn't. I want to address the girls of Afghanistan. Please don't give up fighting for your rights. The Taliban's Ministry of Education pressed ahead with a ceremony marking the start of the new academic year, but seemed at a loss to explain what had gone wrong. The central leadership has said until a plan is developed on the basis of Sharia and Afghan culture, girls' secondary schools will remain closed, a spokesman told us.
We were at a school in the west of Kabul today. There were teenage girls in tears because they've been told that they have to go home again. Who should they blame for this?
I work for the Ministry of Education, he says. We had made our preparations. You need to ask someone representing the leadership. The students filed home just an hour or so after having arrived. In private, Taliban members admit hardline elements within the group still find the idea of female education controversial, even though schools are already segregated. That leaves these young women deeply worried for the future. Sikandar Kamani, BBC News, Kabul.
Well, the Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai, who survived being shot on her school bus by Taliban militants when she was 13, has been talking today to the BBC. She said the news is devastating for women and girls in Afghanistan and shows that the group has no intention, she said, of letting them learn.
It is such a devastating day for them, for us, because the Taliban made a promise that they will allow girls to go to school. And most of us were skeptic about it because we had heard these things previously as well. We know that the Taliban will continue to make excuses to prevent girls from learning. We are not unfamiliar with that. We're not new to this. We have heard it in the past. We heard it back in 1996. We heard it in Swat Valley as well. And we hear it even today in 2022, that they will prevent girls from their education. They will use the excuse of uniform, walking to school, separation and segregated classrooms and female teachers. These excuses are nothing new that we are hearing. And I think that the Afghanistan that the Taliban are envisioning is the one where girls do not receive their education, where they never go higher than the primary schools. And that is an Afghanistan where we do not have educated women, where half of the population are held back. And I don't think that Afghanistan will see peace and progress that it deserves. So it is heartbreaking.
Malala Yousafzai talking to the BBC a little earlier.